Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Power Rangers Dino Charge review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Deluxe Dino Charge Morpher and the Deluxe Dino Saber. Before we begin, I do want to mention that the packaging for these are open-faced, meaning that you can use the quote-unquote try me function for both items. So finding them in the store shouldn't be too hard if you're just looking out for the yellow dinosaur gun or the green dinosaur sword. So I don't feel like I need to show the packaging here. I'm not really a fan of the try me style box packaging. I feel like the toys would be secure if they're actually in a box. But aside from that, it does function for getting kids to experience the quote-unquote roleplay function. So without further ado, let's start with the Dino Charge Morpher. So here we have the Dino Charge Morpher. Now this is a gun weapon as well as a morpher, which is a pretty neat concept. Power Rangers has not done a weapon as a morpher before, and it was an unconventional thing for Sentai to do as well. So it is really neat. Now, the toy itself is a different mold from its Japanese counterpart, the Gabi Revolver, and naturally is a little bit scaled down to fit the new size of the batteries. First things first, I do want to say I don't like the orange caps on the end here, but I understand the reasoning why. The thing is, though, this thing is such an unrealistic weapon that it is kind of ridiculous for this to have to be here, but unfortunately it does because of incidents in the past. Another thing I don't like is the fact that there's no black paint on the top. It'd be fine if this was a figure, because you wouldn't have to see the back, but when it's on the top here and you're holding it like a gun, you're going to see the top, so that's a little bit obnoxious. But everything else about this thing is pretty solid. It retails for about $35. And if you use the Power Rangers Dino Charge scanner app, you can get a coupon for $5 off, which is really nice. And it is a decent size. As you can see, my hand is a little bigger than the handle. It is designed for a child. The trigger is here, which is nice. And overall, the size is nice and small, and it's super light, so it's easy to do roleplay function with. So I'll get the obvious comparison out of the way. Here it is, if we can stand it, next to the Deluxe Henshin Gabi Revolver. So as you can see, the Gabi Revolver's got a lot more paint detail to it. It's much larger. It has gray tips, not orange. And the tailpiece goes straight here while it curves up on this one. Another function of the Gabi Revolver is the extra circle around the trigger so that you can kind of spin it. And also that there is a security latch for this piece here. So this thing is a lot more involved. It's a lot heavier. It's a lot harder to play with, but it is 1-to-1 size. So if you are looking for a more accurate Dino Charge Morpher free collection, this will do great. But it is kind of pricey on the aftermarket. So that's why we have this. This is, a lot cheaper. So the main function of the Morpher, of course, is the sound effects. So let's switch it on. You get a little power-up noise with a red light through the barrel, which is the only light in the thing. But when you pull the trigger, you get 3 different firing sounds. That's pretty neat. It does improve on the fact that Gabi Revolver only had 1 firing noise. So beyond those sounds, the main functionality of the Morpher comes in the form of Dino Chargers. Now, I've already looked at a few of these between my Zord reviews and my Dino Charger Power Pack reviews, but this set does include the T-Rex Charger and the Para Charger, with the correct larger stickers, might I add, so they do match the ones from the first round of Power Packs. It's kind of a confusing thing. Maybe I'll do a video about that later. But as you can see, you got a T-Rex Charger and a Para Charger, which means you can morph into the Red and Black Rangers, which is pretty neat. The Japanese Gabi Revolver came with the Gabutira and Steam Arrow batteries, which means you got 1 change battery and 1, power battery that wasn't for Rangers. So they did improve on that by giving you 2 Rangers Morph batteries. So they are identical, basically, to the other Chargers I've reviewed, but they do have a 4-sided animation. It's pretty neat looking. That's pretty neat. So we got a T-Rex there, and we got a Parasaurolophus there, as you can see. So anyways, to activate them in the Morpher, all we need to do is open up the Morpher. In fact, it's small enough you can just do this. Now, there is only one slot for Dino Chargers, unlike the show where there's two. Put it in and close it up.
T-Rex Charger. Engage. Energize. Unleash the power. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Power Ranger Red.
Alright, so there is two voices to this thing, and now that I've let the show air a few episodes so I could figure it out, there is two separate voices. And the first voice is what has been credited as the mecha voice, and that is the one that says T-Rex Charger. The rest of the voice is supposed to be the Red Ranger Tyler saying Energize, Unleash the Power, and Tyrannosaurus Rex, Power Ranger Red. It's a close voice match, but it is not the actor from what I can tell. It is different. But it is an attempted voice match, and it's decent. The problem with this, though, is that when you're using the roleplay function, the Morpher is telling you what you should say, but not giving you a chance to say it. You can't really reenact the show too well, because the Morpher's making all the sound for you. And that is my only real issue with the sound effects. If it just said T-Rex Charger and then did sound effects and you say the phrases, that would have been kind of neat. But alas, that's what we get, and it's not bad. So to release it, there's these two buttons on either side, and it just slides right out. So that means we can go to the next charger, the Power Charger.
Power Charger. Engage. Energize. Unleash the power. Parasaurolophus. Power Ranger Black.
So yeah, that's all the sounds you get, but if you do pull the trigger while a charger's been activated, you do get a dinosaur blast sound for the Dino Morpher Blast. So that's kind of neat. So on its own, how worth it is the Dino Charge Morpher? Well, it does do quite a bit of function for a $35 Morpher from Bandai. It's a nice size. It's decently painted. And it does come with two chargers that can be used in the Dino Charge app and such. But it does get better when you add in the other Dino Chargers. And since I didn't get a chance to show off the sound effects for the other Dino Chargers in my Dino Charger review, I want to go through those, but let's save that for the end of the video and take a look at the Dino Saber. So here we have the Deluxe Dino Saber. This retails for about $30, I believe, and it's quite awesome. Now this is the sword primarily used by the Green Dino Charge Ranger, but is used by all the Rangers. And this is a substantial sized sword. The handle is decently sized, but the blade is quite long. Banda's been doing a really good job with sword weapons lately, between the Mega Blade and the Super Mega Saber, and now the Dino Saber. So it is really neat we're getting a yearly sword deluxe weapon, which is pretty nice. So this, of course, is based on the Gabi Revolver from Kyoryuger, which I don't own, so I'm not doing any comparisons here, but can give you a little detail. This has a longer blade to it, which is really nice. Plus, it is well painted. Not really too many details are missing. The only thing that's changed really from its Japanese counterpart is that the jaw does not open to put the charger in, and this piece does not slide to activate it. It's a lot simpler mechanism. It's much appreciated. But as you can see, the main function of it is sounds and lights. Let's turn it on. So you got a nice light going through the green blade. And when you press the trigger back here, you get a couple different sword sounds. That's really neat. I think adding the lighted blade to these weapons have made them a lot cooler, and I personally like it more than the Japanese counterpart. So that is pretty much all you can do with it on its own, but it does work with the Dino Chargers, and naturally it does come with one, and that is the number 4 Raptor Charger. That belongs to the Green Dino Charge Ranger. It is very similar to the one in the first run power packs, and it has a neat little animation. This works perfectly because he's the one that used the sword the most. Riley, fought off Fury in his first appearance using a Dino Saber, so props to him. He's awesome. So anyways, just insert it here. It's all powered up, and then you just press the button. So you only get like one sound effect, but you get a total of 3 different sword sound effects, plus some activation and powering up. Plus, when you press the button, by the way, the button on the side here, there's a black button here, we do get a sound of ejecting it. Now, you can just kind of force this in here, but it's best to kind of hold the button down back here to slide it in. But the thing is, it doesn't recognize what charger's inside. It just, you put the charger in, it presses a button, and it activates the final attack noise. So that's about it. But of course, because it's a new charger that I haven't used in the Morpher, let's use it in the Morpher.
Raptor Charger. Engage. Energize. Unleash the power. Velociraptor. Power Ranger Green.
So there you go. And of course, the bonus attack noise. Is the same as the Para and T-Rex Chargers. So there you go. The Dino Saber on its own is a fantastic piece. For the price, like I said, about $35 at Toys R Us, $30 at Target, and I picked it up on sale for $25. So really, really nice. It's a good size, even for adults, and I really like it. It is a fun piece on its own. But it does do some functionality with the Dino Charge Morpher beyond swapping chargers, and that is that they can combine. So if you push this button here and pull this to release a tab here, you can swing this piece down, click it into place to lock it in, hold down this tab, fold this back, take your Dino Charge Morpher, open it up, line up the two, and now you have the Dino Blade Blaster. Clever reference, Dino Charge. Good move. So now you get this giant cannon, typically handled with 2 hands because of how big it is. But you do get this cool combination. And I really think this is neat. It takes their 2 main weapons, their Morpher and their Saber, and puts them together. Plus, you get new sound effects. That's the basic attack, and then you can also power it up. So really cool overall. You get new sounds in the Dino Charge Morpher when you combine it with the sword. And unfortunately there's nothing going on here with the sword while this is happening, and you don't really need a Dino Charger inside either of these, but you can store a Dino Charger in each. So that's pretty cool overall. Plus, if you'd like, you can have a blade at the end of it. That might come in handy later. Anyways, it's a very loud and explosive thing. So the Dino Charge Morpher and the Dino Saber, are they worth it? They are so worth it. You get 3 Dino Chargers between the 2. They work together with each other, and they're really fun roleplay weapons. They feel good quality. They don't feel like they'll break. There is a basic Dino Saber out there that comes with the number 3 Charger, and there is a basic Morpher that comes in the training sets. Those aren't as cool. The sound effects and light combinations, plus the combination that's show accurate, is really nice, and I do like it. These are really fun toys. Even though the Gabi Revolver is more accurate and has different sounds, I still really like the Dino Charge Morpher, and I really like the Dino Saber functionality. It's really nice to have, and I give Bandai so much credit. They seem to have stepped up their quality on all their lines this year. I'm really looking forward to what's coming out, especially the villain figures. Those will be super cool. So, this is pretty much the end of the review. What I do want to do is go over all the Chargers I've reviewed in other videos and use them in the Morpher to kind of catch up with what sounds they make, so that there's a record in my videos of what they do. So, if you don't want to stick around for that, I understand, and I thank you for watching, and please be sure to check out HurryTaku.com. We've got all kinds of Power Rangers news going up anytime that something new breaks. So, check out our coverage at Toy Fair. We looked at everything that was at Toy Fair. We wrote up articles on them. And stay tuned for more reviews from myself, Darkon 633, and Wheelchair 21, who will all be doing Dino Charge reviews over the next couple years. Super excited about this season, and I really, really hope that the toy line keeps this quality up and gets even better, because this is a good start to new Power Rangers toys. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at those other Dino Chargers. Alright, so here are the other Dino Chargers that we have previously looked at. First of all, these number 2 and number 4 Dino Chargers that came with the Para and Raptor Zords. We're not going to demonstrate these. They're the exact same. They just have smaller stickers. And just like that, we're also going to take out numbers 1, 2, and 4 from the Power Packs because we already looked at those in this video. And on top of that, we're also going to take the clear Charger that came with the Megazord because mine was molded wrong on this side and does not function in the Morpher. It's really weird, and it seems I had a molding issue with mine. So it does not work, but it just makes the T-Rex Charger noises, nothing special. So that leaves us with these Chargers here. So we have 5 Fossil Chargers and 2 Morphing Chargers. So let's get started. We'll start with the Stego Charger, which I've already showed the animations and such, so we're just going to put it in. So like I said, this is available in the Power Pack and with the basic Dino Saber, but I'd personally just recommend using the Power Pack one. Same with this. This comes with the Dinocom. Also comes in a Power Pack. I don't have a Dinocom yet. I really want one though. But here's the Triceratops, the Tricera Charger. So those are all the Morph Chargers we've gotten so far. So we do have the main 5 Rangers now. But we do have these 5 Ability Chargers, as I'm going to call them. We have the fossilized Dino Armor X Charger, which doesn't make any different sounds from the regular one. The Fossil Chargers just have a fossil design. So that doesn't say in Power Ranger name because there's no Rangers associated with these. Next up, we have the Dino Cupid Charger.
Dino Cupid Charger, engage! Energize! Unleash the power!
Next up, the Dino Stretch Charger.
Dino Stretch Charger, engage! Energize! Unleash the power! Diplonicus!
And we have the Dino Laugh Charger. And lastly, the Dino Hypnotized Charger.
Dino Hypnotized Charger, engage! Energize! Unleash the power! Ammonite!
So there you go. That is all the Dino Chargers that I own so far. And we heard the sounds for all of them. It's quite a few so far, and And it seems like the second wave of Dino Charger power packs are out, so hopefully I find those soon. But stay tuned for other Power Rangers videos as the Legacy movie figures are out now, and I really, really want those things. And stay tuned for more Dino Charge. I have never been this excited for a Power Rangers season in a very long time. Like, so far back that I wasn't even reviewing toys when I was this excited for a Power Rangers season. So expect a Dino Charge video for, like, everything I buy. So anyways, time to Soundout saying goodbye.